is just the material storage, and the man camp is about 5 miles back that way.
Yeah, and they're stacking them up over there now.
So what about the rest of the road? Like I know where the drill is on the downstream end, but then it goes 1.4 miles upstream all the way to the massacre site. So that is a couple other landowners. Do you have ROEs for those as well?
The massacre site, I guess I'm not understanding.
Let me grab some information.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Perfect. That's the marker on the highway regarding the site where the road is. And the road that you guys put in there, I assume that was your road, right? The 1.4 mile road from the drill site upstream?
Are you talking, I'm trying to figure out
This
where...
marker's up on the highway, but this is the marker commemorating the site down there where the drill rig was. That's what this marker's commemorating, that site down by the drill rig. Here's a little bit of history you can read about the site.
You have a map.
Yeah, so I got one for each of you if you like. Perfect. Both of you guys from Montana?
No,
I am.
I'm Idaho. It's very, very smoky up there right now.
Yeah.
A lot of fires.
And then there was an archaeologist who was supposed to be here. He might already be down there, but he did a big report on that site.
That area.
Yeah, and I can let you have this. I only have 2 copies, so I'll let you keep this one.
Okay.
You know, the whole thing about it was there was, you know, it wasn't contractors. It was Army Rangers, or Army soldiers and Texas Rangers and a local posse. But that was like 100 years ago. This is one of the bullets they found with a bone fragment, human bone stuck to it. Because 15 dudes were executed there. So that's where the road that's going in there is like right on it. And if you guys are ending up doing a double wall, which sounds like that's the plan, right? Is this not slated for a double wall here?
It's just a single.
Well, in any event, I don't know, what is your working surface? You have that one road that was on the GLO land that there's a halt on. That's like 200 feet wide, that area.
So yes, and you're correct. So the majority of that is 190 feet. We stay within the 200, so we usually typically do 190 feet on that swath. Now there's other areas like, areas like this or a cemetery or something like that to where they're trying to do potential realignments around those areas. So we don't have any permission to get into those yet. I believe they're still investigating those on where they're going to realign those. Now we can go as narrow as 60 foot in some areas.
Yeah. Well, so that people go to that site because their ancestors were executed there, and you notice on that, maybe you didn't even see it, but there's the wall there that had a big sunflower, a plastic flower. Then it's got little shrines and memoriams. Like, what are the people that want to go there? And there's a wall in their way. Is there a gate so they can go there and pay their respects again and light a candle? How does that work?
Yes,
including all the cemeteries that are walled out. You know, there's, I mean, besides this site, this is probably the most important site along this stretch, but then there's a dozen in each direction. And when you go 100 miles in each direction, there's more sites similar. Not as important as this one, but still.
So is this marking out where it's at then? This grade?
Well, where it says Porvenir on the map here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's the town of Porvenir, and then a mile downstream is where the execution was of all these guys, the massacre.
Test bits, that's it. That's all we can do. Now the ROEC allows like the full construction. Correct. ROES allows us to clear a path, dozer blade width, for the drill rig to be able to drive it.
Yeah. You can imagine if we came up there and wanted to put a wall along there, you couldn't go to either of those rivers.
No, and
It'd be tough for you, wouldn't it?
No, exactly. We understand, you know, there's all the contentions around here and landowners that, you know, are fighting back. You know, I don't blame anyone per se, you know, but at the end of the day, it's...
If they park here, they're supposed to pick it up next week, so...
Okay.
We're just going to be here to help build it, so...
Big here, so that's just where we're at here. You know, our life was pretty simple and easy before all this happened. But if this project gets canceled, you got plenty of other work, don't you?
Well, yeah, we have work,
Awesome.
but I mean, like I said, we're contractors, right? So
Yeah.
we're hired to do a job, and nothing against, you know, I hate coming into a community and having to, you know, be a part of, you know, something like this, and, you know, being able to explain. But like I said, at the end of the day, we're a contractor hired to do a job. Barnard's a very respectable company, and we pride ourselves on that. But, you know, like I said, it's just unfortunately here we are on, you know, this project, and I'm hoping we can work with the community as best we can. And I just hope that you guys don't hold it against us. But
We got to hold it against somebody.
hopefully,
You know,
not the contractors.
I mean, we know it starts at the very top.
It does.
Yeah, you guys are able to send us those.
Yeah, and you know, when you say clear a site, I mean, if it's an archaeological site, you can't just pick it up and move it and say.
No,
yeah.
what I mean is they go out and they confirm that there is a site there and they mark it off. And then from that point, they have to determine whether or not the wall gets moved, or they've got to completely remove all the artifacts from that site. So it just basically shuts down that whole area.
So
You
they're
know, it'd
marked
be
off right now?
so helpful
The sites?
to be able to just have somebody present from the community to monitor that, because otherwise we've been in the dark and we've been assuming the worst.
I think a lot of people have been in the dark.
And so that's where being transparent, and even if we can't coordinate an archaeologist, but just to have a monitor to record the process and see, I think that would really be helpful to the community and the contention, as you're saying.
Oh yeah, now you can see it where it cuts over.
Oh my God, there's a guy.
Around, we're trying not to move anything, you know, and you know, we're not, because we're just gonna tear through here. They just tear through here and willy-nilly, and it looks like that's just the beginning. You know, they're gonna blade. If y'all are right, that's, you know, that's probably one edge, and they're gonna blade probably from there all the way to here. On a cold night in January of 1918, they came to the village of Porvenir. Who was they? It's vigilante ranchers, Texas Rangers, and they were escorted by the U.S. military, by the cavalry. They came out here in the middle of the night. They roused people out of their homes, separated the men from the women, villages that way, marched them up the road, 15 men and boys, lined them up against that cliff, and murdered them, shot them to death. So what we found on the ground in doing the investigation was basically a victim line, firing line situation. Basically, where we're standing right here, there was a line of cartridge casings right through here that had been ejected from the rifles and the pistols when they were firing. Right about there, between halfway, a little closer to the cliff where the flowers are, we did a 1x2 unit right where there had been a concentration of discoveries of little metal fragments that turned out to be jacket fragments from bullets, and then bullet fragments. And so it really clearly conformed to a victim line, firing line scenario. The big aha and why it hit international news, why it made international news, is because the majority of the artifacts that we found were military. And the military is not supposed to be shooting U.S. citizens. The next day, the bodies were taken over to Mexico and buried in a mass grave. The villagers abandoned the village because they were pretty confident they were going to be killed next. And a few days later, the cavalry came back and burned the village down. Yeah, and so this was a cold crime scene for over a century until we came back and did this investigation and unearthed these things, and it was a big deal. And so yeah, it hurts. You know, this is really, it feels very disrespectful.